Hi, Eric Gibaud, and today I want to speak about something that doesn't have to do with photography gear. Well, not directly. We'll see. Some time ago, I remembered a sentence by Edward Weston that was a bit like to consult the rules of composition before making a photograph is a little like consulting the law of gravitation before going for a walk. Obviously, that made me laugh or smile. And then the more I think about it, the more I think this is probably true. So in this video, we're going to explain a bit what Weston meant. We'll see how it is related to our gear. And we will check some famous photos that completely reflect what Weston was telling. So let's start. You realize that nowadays when we speak about photography, we speak about rules, the rule of thirds, the leading lines, the golden ratio, composition, technique, but also gear, cameras, lenses, and yet Weston seemed to tell something completely different. That before all those things, there is something more important. This is the ability of observing. Your ability of observation. And that led me to one big question. How come many very famous photos were made with basic camera, simple camera, and curiously, nowadays, some fantastic photos are made with smartphones. This video is not about smartphone, it's not about telling if smartphone are good or not, it's just a parenthesis, okay? So, we're going to speak about composition according to Weston and see more things just after. But we need to start with this. There's another sentence that Weston said or wrote, I don't know, is good composition is merely the strongest way of seeing. And you can notice one thing. It doesn't talk about rules, it doesn't talk about geometry, about formulas, it talks about seeing. And I think we often forget this, because we tend to believe that photography starts when we bring the camera to our eye, whether viewfinder or a monitor. But the reality is completely different. It starts a lot earlier. It begins when we observe. When we notice a light, a shape, a relationship between elements, a moment, photography is born there, in this precise moment, long before the shutter is pressed. But okay, photography starts with observation, but there is an interesting question here. What do we need to observe well? And the answer is quite simple. Attention. Yeah, attention. That's simple. The most important resource for a photographer, for many, is the camera. Yes, the gear is important because without the camera you cannot capture what you've observed, but doesn't mean that this is what photography is about. I am more and more convinced about this. I believe the most important resource is attention, because attention is limited. When I am actually in front of the scene, I can devote my attention to observing the light, the shapes, the gesture, the relationship between elements, the moment, or I can spend time with my camera. How do I set the menus, the settings, configuration, features, autofocus, all this? But while I'm busy with the camera, I've got less time to have attention to what I want to make a picture of. And really the problem is not technology. I want to make this clear. This video is not against technology. It has nothing to do at all. Technology has never been the problem. The problem is when technology is taking away our attention from the photography. That's a problem, not because of technology, because the way it may occupy us. A tool that all the time asks for attention is a problem. But any tool, a pianist cannot be thinking about what key is touching. He has to think about the melody, about the result, about the way he plays the piece of music. But he cannot be thinking of what key should be used. Same thing with the camera. An example, here's my Leica MP. Okay, this is not a video about Leica, okay? This is a tool that was made famous. Why? Because it's simple, it's basic. Aperture, focusing, viewfinder, well, rangefinder in this case, speed, and that's it. I put my roll of film in there, and that's it. This is why it has success, because people may be ready. you can check here, you can have the other eye open, you can be here like this, make your picture. You don't think about the camera. You think about the photography. Is it a better camera? No, it's not. Is it the best camera? Probably not. Does it make better photos? Surely not, because when I place this camera on a table by itself, it doesn't make any photo. And we see many people like me with the Leica, we don't make better pictures than others. Very often my pictures are really bad. So honestly, it does not make better picture. But it helps me concentrate on observation. I can check the people I see, the gestures, the light, the moment. That's exactly what photography is about, observation. And this tool is not stopping me. The camera is not complicated enough to take away my attention, to be concentrated on the camera. It's true, it's manual focus, so that do take a bit of time, but most Leica M shooter, especially when you use film, we use zone focusing. So really, we don't have to think about focusing either. It's placed already. We know the subject will go through here, and that's it. It will be in focus, and that's it. By the way, if you wanted to help me, don't forget I've got affiliate links in the description. Please use them. And if you wanted to buy Luminar Neo, don't forget, with my code ERIC10, you get a 10% discount on top of any offer they have. So still place the code and you save some more money. And with ERIC20, you get a 20% discount on K&F, where you will find all the accessories by K&F Concept and more brands. So use it. That helps you, that helps me. Everyone happy. Thank you so much. Let's carry on. But really, the same thing still happens nowadays with some cameras. Right now I speak about street photography, but it could be any type of photography. But if we keep to this type of camera, when we check digital M cameras, obviously it's the same way of using them. Leica Q or Fujifilm X100, the latest one is the 6, Ricoh GR like GR4. Really, this camera, they all have one thing in common. They are made to forget about them, to be there to serve you, and you work on observation, on attention. It doesn't take your time away from there, okay? This is why this camera is really successful for people who need high observation, like street photography. But it can be also fauna. You need to have a lot of attention also, okay? Obviously, in this case, you use a different camera. But don't forget one thing. Some people think, oh, then a simple camera is better. No, not necessarily. It doesn't make it better. Actually, when you look at technology, it can help you a lot. It's a lot easier to have a camera, a picture in focus with the Leica Q than with this, for example, or with any camera with a good autofocus. So obviously, technology can really help to have the right exposure, to have many things that will help you. But the big problem is that many people, they don't use properly the technology of their camera. They have a fantastic camera and they're all the time touching the settings. They're all the time diving in the menus, see how to do this. While you do that, you cannot be observing the situation. You cannot be thinking about the photo. You think about your camera. Technology is great for having the possibility to have different settings in the same camera. You could set for example, for portrait, you have a setting, then you move a small wheel, and then you turn the wheel, and then you have a setting for landscape, another one for flash photography, another one for whatever. And this is where technology helps you, because when you go to a new situation, you don't have to spend time with the camera. You just have to turn a small wheel and you're ready to shoot and concentrate on observation. And this is where technology is really fantastic. I see many people wasting time moving around a focus point. Yeah, if it follows by itself, it's better, okay? But if it doesn't follow by itself, then it's better to reframe, it's faster. So technology may help or not, but technology, if it's well used, can help really much. So it doesn't take away your time from attention. And that's funny because during many years, people didn't want to have simple cameras because they thought they were too basic. So they got into really high-end technological cameras, but now they don't really use them. They just waste time with it. And that's a big problem. If you want a high-end technological camera, then you have to use it properly. Okay, don't forget that. Otherwise, yes, it is better to have a simple camera. How do we know that this really matters, the observation? Well, we're going to see 5 pictures, 5 photos, really famous one, and we will see what they all have in common. The first picture is behind the Gare Saint-Lazare, 1932 by Henri Cartier-Bresson. And the description is basically a man jumps over a large puddle behind the Saint-Lazare train station in Paris. His reflection appears perfectly aligned in the water a fraction of a second before it touches the ground. Why does this matter? This photo became one of the symbols of the decisive moment Cartier-Bresson always explained. We don't remember it because of sharpness, we don't remember this photo because of resolution. We remember this photo because Cartier-Bresson observed something that lasted less than a second. Obviously he was observing this guy coming, walking, and he said, he's not going to go through the wet water, he's going to jump. He also observed the scene, the circus poster behind, and all this. It was really the right second, and this is thanks to observation. Then the second photo is Migrant Mother, 1936, by Dorothy Lange. We see a mother during the Great Depression in the US, surrounded by her children. Her expression conveys concern, exhaustion, and uncertainty. Why does this photo matter? This photograph became one of the icons of documentary photography. What we remember is not the camera that was used. What we remember is that the photographer had ability to observe and communicate a human reality. The third photo is different because we don't speak about person, we don't speak about street photography, we speak about a picture by Ansel Adams. The moonrise in New Mexico in 1941. A small New Mexico town under spectacular light. The moon rises above the horizon while the cemetery crosses reflect the last ray of sunlight. Well, Ansel Adams was extremely technical, probably one of the most technical photographers in history. But all that technical knowledge would have been useless if he had not first observed that extraordinary scene. Technique allowed him to capture it, but observation allowed him to find it. The fourth picture is by Edward Weston, we speak about today. Paper number 30. In 1930, a simple paper photographed in such a way that it almost resembles an abstract sculpture. The curves, shadows, and volumes transform an ordinary object into something completely different. Most people saw a vegetable. Weston saw shapes, saw lines, saw volumes, he saw a photograph. This is exactly what observation means. And the last picture, by Richard Avedon, Dovima with elephants in 1955. The model Dovina poses elegantly between two enormous circus elephants. The contrast between human elegance and animal power creates an unforgettable image. This is not street photography, this is not documentary photography, this is not landscape photography, it is fashion photography. And yet photography is born from exactly the same place, a way of seeing, an observation, an idea. What do all these photographs have in common? Not the equipment, not the genre, not the era, not the technique. What they all have in common is that someone, the photographer, saw something that most people didn't see. And this is precisely why we still remember them decades later. So when do you truly know your camera? I think we all have experienced something similar. You buy a new camera and at the beginning you're lost. The menus, the settings, the buttons, what are they, with this, with that, and really you realize your photos are not better. They're even worse. I don't speak about sharpness, I don't speak about image quality, I speak the photo by itself. They're worse. Why? Because you're busy with the camera. You don't have time to have attention for what you make the picture of. And bit by bit, you know more and more the camera, you can concentrate again looking at what you want to make a picture of. Having attention, you don't think about the camera anymore. It's a bit like when you start driving, at the beginning you're lost. How to change gear, how to press a clutch if it's not an automatic, where is steering wheel, where is the brake, where is the accelerator, all this. And you cannot concentrate on looking at the road, you cannot concentrate really on seeing a landscape, enjoying driving. But bit by bit, this becomes automatic. You don't have to think anymore. You just concentrate on driving and seeing what you have in front of you on the road. You don't have to think about the car anymore. And this happens also with your camera. When you can make a picture after observing, without checking the camera, touching button, all this is when you really know your camera. This is when you're ready. Before that, you're taking time away from observation. And this is really when you will appreciate the money you spent, because if all this new technology help you without stopping you, this is fantastic. This is really what you wanted. You start to enjoy making picture without even thinking about the fantastic tool you have in your hands. So conclusion, this is why I believe Weston quote remains so relevant today. To consult the rules of composition before making a photograph is a little like consulting the law of gravitation before going for a walk. And that's it. Rules can help you to learn, obviously. Technique can help us work. Technology can help us be more efficient. But none of these things are photography. Photography is not that. It begins a lot earlier. It begins with observation. And perhaps the best camera is not the simplest, is not the most advanced, is not the most expensive, is not the most modern. Really, the best camera is the one you perfectly know, the one that will not take away your attention. Never forget that photos do not happen ever in the camera. They always happen in front of the camera. And this is where you need to be looking at. And this is why Weston is completely right. A good composition is not a rule. It's a way of seeing. It depends on you. But to reach this level that I have not reached myself, first you need to forget about the camera. And to forget about the camera, first you need to know it by heart. Then you will be able to concentrate 100% on observation. And your pictures will be fantastic. I tell you. So, I hope this video helps you thinking about this. I look forward to reading your comments and your opinion about this. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, the small button down here, and the small bell. If you click on the bell, we'll get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Don't forget, I've got affiliate links in the description. Please use them. And if you wanted to buy Luminar Neo, don't forget I've got a 10% discount with my code ERIC10 on top of any offer they have. So still place your code and you save some more money. And with ERIC10 you get a 20% discount on K&F, where you will find all the accessories by K&F Concept and more brands. So use it. That helps you. That helps me. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Also leave you my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.